You can see here, this is a previous level of daily resistance here at 56.39. So as long as we break over 56.39, we should at least, we'll probably break this previous high at 5719, push into this right now. This is our 1, 2. We're pushing into a wave 3. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, we have a little bit of up, then have a little bit of a wave 4 selling before we push kind of into the wave 5 higher. That is the bull version, and the bear version would obviously have a rejection at a resistance that goes down. Obviously, like if you were bearish, like this is probably your last chance rejection because this is a high, lower high, and this would be another lower high. So yeah, the wicks will probably give us a clue. You can see here we could not hold over this 19 level. So below 19, the VIX is bearish. You can see here this was just an oversold bounce. As I drew on the chart, that's kind of selling off. So as long as the VIX is weak, the market is likely bullish. And you can see here, the 16.8 is a support level. We break that this week. We very likely sell into 14.4 on Wix. And the dollar also kind of had that oversold bounce, and we're kind of selling off. We look at the 10-year and kind of the same thing, kind of weak and kind of selling, but it is kind of sitting on a fib level. So it could have an oversold bounce, but overall, this is a pretty weak chart for a 10-year. You can see the bearish breakdown.
This short clip is presented by Chase. Fast track your learning curve and profit with our LaDuc Trading Slack community. It is ideal for beginners who love the chase. Chase provides access to not only Samantha's daily market thoughts and chase trades, but also her fabulous team of live stage mentors who share their actual trades and risk management stops across equities, options, and futures. You also get access to custom trade support when you need it. For more information, visit www.laductrading.com/chase.
So those are reasons why the ES continue along this elongated green path, but also just keep an eye on the levels. 55640 resistance. I would say 5579 support. I would say that your bearish pivot for the ES would be around 5540. You break 5540, then you can get aggressively short. But as long as we digest and keep continuing, we will like keep heading up. And you can see we kind of broke out of the downtrend. And the Q is a good clue, right? That we discussed last week was we are still in the channel, and this is likely going to lead to an oversold bounce. But yeah, if it does follow the ES, if you are bearish, you would kind of need to reject and go back down like this. But if you are bullish, this is our 1, 2, continuing into a wave 3, a wave 4, into a wave 5 for the Qs. So this is kind of something you would kind of be looking at on QQQ. Let me change the colors just so it's easier for us. So this is kind of be the level. So if you want specific levels, resistance 476-ish, I would say your bearish pivot would be 465. Break below that, you can aggressively short. Otherwise, any selling is just digestion for a move higher, and your bull pivot is 475, bear pivot 465. We look at IWM similarly, right? Kind of sideways action. This could be a giant. This is obviously not a wave 4. An IWM, either this is an A, a B, a C in a WXY. This entire sequence would end up being a W, an X, and a Y. Or if this is aggressively bullish, this can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a WXY would mean this is a more aggressive bull path, which would again need a lot of factors to kind of prove itself that we are aggressively bullish. But if this, I would say this is a wave 5. At minimum, I would say the IWM will likely 229, 230 will kind of be the levels to kind of break over on IWM to push into the more aggressive path. Otherwise, you could likely just see kind of, a more resistance rejection over at this 230 level on IWM. And again, if you want a bearish pivot for IWM, I would say that above 215, it is bullish into 222, 230. And below, I would say I would like it, the bear pivot is a little lower. It would say around 207, 206, and then you can aggressively short. But yeah, the 10-year would need to pick up for that. Let's see how it goes. These are your pivots. So yeah, with that being said, let's look at this week's watch list. You could do Microsoft. I had Meta. I mean, they're both likely going to follow each other. And you can see here why I preferred Meta over Microsoft is you can see here we are kind of having their breakout. So as long as we kind of digest over this 520, 518 level, we should be able to break this high at 540. So that's the reason I have Meta, right? And also you can see this is the sideways channel. So very likely going to hit the top of this on Meta. And you could also do Microsoft, right? Since I spoke about it. As long as we hold over 425, we should be able to push up into 435, 440 pretty easily on Microsoft. And the next one I have is JD. And the reason for that is you can see here, we are in a very extensive downtrend. We tried to break out of resistance, we rejected. So as long as we're below, as long as we're below 27, it is pretty bearish. You can see these are the EMAs. We keep rejecting them. We're unable to stay above. So below 26.5, we continue to 26 and 25. The next level of significant support is this fib level at 24.6. So yeah, as long as we stay under resistance, but sometimes China tries to have those oversold bounces, and you can see here it is trying to break out. So I would say watch, like it could, right? I'm not saying it's definitely bearish. Above 27, 26.9, 27, we could. It does have a gap to fill at 28 and at 29.2. So it is possible. It could play out both ways. This is a consolidating pennant, but whatever direction it goes, it's likely going to be very explosive. So you can keep an eye out for that. And last but not the least, I have MRK. And again, you can see here, we did have that massive sell-off on MRK, and we did bounce off that trend line. So I would say that for MRK, we would need to continue selling off here. So we would need to push below 116, and we could continue back into the bottom of the channel at 113. But again, it could also alternatively have this oversold bounce. It does have a gap to fill into 125 before it continues down. So it is essential that this needs to stay below 116 to continue moving lower. But then, yeah, a more aggressive short would be if it breaks 113, 112. Then we have a lot of room into 100 and lower. So yeah, for now, I'm looking at that too. And also on the watch list is Lulu. It is known to have aggressive bounces when it does have those oversold bounces, and it has been in a very extended downtrend, right, all the way from Jan. So I would say that we should, at minimum, as long as we hold over 260, which becomes new support, and it's also kind of this 260, 259 is where we broke out of. So if we retest that and hold, this could be a good oversold bounce into like 270, 280, 290 for Lulu. So I'm also watching to see if Lulu has a nice oversold bounce. So that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.
Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly wave list videos and other content.